Hello, Wear Many Hats listeners. It's your host, Mark Robinson, here again. Very pleased to have another one of our rising stars in the facilities management industry joining us today. So the podcast is going to be dedicated to risings. I'm very pleased to be joined by property manager Robin Bland of Colliers. Hello, Robin. How you doing?
Hi, afternoon. Good.
You having a good day?
Yeah, not too bad. Kind of a relaxed Tuesday as much as it can be in the property world.
A relaxed Tuesday. Oh,
Yeah.
Fantastic. Did it take you long to get here?
No, I'm in the West End at the minute.
So you're not far at all?
Yeah, Curzon Street is what I look after at the minute. So,
brilliant.
Not too far to...
Did you walk or get the tube?
I was lazy enough to get the tube.
Yeah.
It was just about running on time. Jumped on the tube and then came straight over. So.
Well, you were in plenty of time. I caught you loitering outside, so...
Yeah, trying to make my excuses and run the other way, but you followed me, so just about got it.
See, there's no escape.
Exactly,
no escape, Robin.
And once you're in, you're in. That's it. Doors locked behind you.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, listen. Before we get into the questions, I want to chat to you about one thing. I understand you are a Leeds University Illuminati.
Yeah, so ended up kind of graduating from Leeds Met in 2013. 2013 now. So I studied sport, which is nothing to do with what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
So sport development. So it's kind of the element of where if you get the people that have never done sport, get them to do something for the first time.
Yeah.
If you're really good, make you amazing.
Right. Okay.
So it's a lot of work with kind of governing bodies, NHS.
Yeah.
But I've always kind of been interested in why people do things and why people don't do things.
Okay.
That little bit of psychology aspect, which I think affects everybody pretty much in everything they do.
I agree, without a doubt.
So,
is it like conditioning and things like that as well?
A little bit of that.
Nutrition and...
So you do touch on elements of that, and then it's more signposting people to the right places to go, which I think is kind of a little bit facilities in a way. You don't become an expert in anything, but you try and create that framework for people to come in along the way, do their bit and leave.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, so kind of always been into sport and stuff like that.
And that actually quite interestingly led you into, by accident, facilities.
Yeah. Always kind of been interested in how things work.
Right.
I mean, it's one of those things as a kid, it's like, how do you build something? How do you put it together? How do you take it apart?
Did you used to pull the toaster apart and things like that?
Not quite to that degree. It was more like, have a go at the Meccano set.
Yeah.
One of those bits and pieces.
The TV didn't get ripped to bits on the mantelpiece.
No, but the fascination of watching the guys empty the bins every day.
Right.
And how things are made and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
one of my first jobs got roped into working on the market stalls as a kid.
I used to do that.
Yeah, ripping up cardboard boxes and flat packing them.
Yeah.
Helping a van.
Helping the market traders set up. I used to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, go down, earn a couple of quid.
Yeah, that was every Friday.
Yeah.
Outside of school. And so that was a bit of an introduction into the world that I wouldn't probably have chosen but fell into in a way. So
okay.
Started off early.
Yeah. So obviously the sports degree led you into quite an interesting role actually at the 2012 Olympics.
Yeah. So
talk to us about that.
So in my second year, there was an opportunity to do an internship at the Olympics. And being at Leeds, sport-wise, sport mad.
Yeah.
Everyone is... 300 people went for this internship.
Yeah.
You were sold the dream. You were going to be the manager of the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
So 100 people were kind of chosen. It transpired there was also 100 people from South Carolina University who came from America as well.
Oh, really?
So lucky enough, I got chosen to be one of those 100 guys working at the Olympics. And we were sold, you're going to be running it. So everyone's like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Internship, so don't expect to be paid, but you'll get a little bit of money.
Yeah.
A little bit of money, definitely. So everyone comes down on the bus from Leeds. First day down there, you arrive in this beaten up warehouse, Dust Bowl yard, shipping containers.
Right.
So you're the first guys that move in. The Americans are already there. So you in a shipping container, bunk beds, 9 other people.
Really?
Yeah.
In a shipping container?
In a shipping container.
That's like something out of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I've spent like half of my summers in shipping containers, doing events and stuff around the country. But,
Wow.
So you started off down there, and then it kind of dawned on you a little bit that you're not quite going to be the people running the whole show.
Yeah.
You're going to be more on the facilities, logistics.
Yeah.
Kind of that venue transformation side almost.
Right. That must have been very interesting to be involved in.
So you kind of get down there and you're like, actually, it's not quite what it's meant to be.
Yeah.
I'm in a shipping container in a warehouse in East London.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be there for 4 months.
Yeah.
Pretty much I better get on with it.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So, yeah, it was a bit of a kind of rude awakening, and everyone was kind of divvied up into people looking after a stadium.
Yeah.
All around the country, some guys went down to Weymouth, down for the sailing.
Right.
But fortunately, in a way, I was kind of given the Olympic Park.
Right.
That was kind of the area that I was given to work in. And in a weird way, that was the biggest venue out of the whole lot on the Olympics.
Yeah.
There's 500,000 people pass through it every day.
There's a lot of people.
Yeah. And if you think about, if you go to a stadium, you've got to walk through the park to get there.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, a stadium's 60,000.
Yeah.
But those 60,000 will come in and out some way.
Yeah, of course.
And they go through the park. So so kind of a baptism of fire into facilities.
I imagine it would be. Yeah.
20 years old, and kind of you're down in London in a container, and working night shifts straight. So 4 months of night shifts.
Wow.
And it was run by quite a lot of Australians came over who had history of doing Vancouver and Athens and all the other games previously.
Yeah.
So you were kind of given direction by these quite direct Australians on what you need to be doing.
No, they're not backwards in coming forwards, are they?
No. But I think that kind of worked well for me in a way, because it's easier to be told what to do rather than sometimes to think for yourself, especially if you're new into it, I think.
Well, I mean, especially you've been thrown in like that, and I guess it felt a little bit like a sink or swim scenario.
Completely. Yeah. And I think that's...
Or were you like a swan? You looked really calm on the top, but the legs are going mental.
I think kind of the amount of Red Bull and drinks at the end of it. So, it was work hard, play harder.
Yeah.
So, we had about... Some nights it ramped up to over 400 staff on opening night, opening days. But I learned probably the best lesson I've ever learned there actually is everything's about perception.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how bad it's going behind the scenes. As long as when people walk in the morning and visitors come in, they get that perspective of, wow.
That experience.
That moment.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone, I think, is striving for every day in kind of this world a little bit, which is, a bit of a hard one to get right every day. But I think it's all about perception.
Agreed.
And if you get those clients and those visitors through the front door, your battle's won.
Right.
At least for 10 minutes.
Yes.
Before they come out of the office and start highlighting areas for improvement. But that kind of has learned that everywhere I've kind of gone now and taken that off. It's all about kind of how things look from the outside, and that goes back to a little bit of psychology of people.
Yeah. Okay, so you did the Olympics. What happened next? What was the next?
Finished that, went back, finished my third year. So I ran handball the sport handball after the Olympics, boom. So I, instead of doing dissertation, I'm not that disciplined enough to write, I ran that with 2 other guys in West Yorkshire for a year. Did that.
You ran
so for the governing body, Handball England,
wow.
We ran their element in West Yorkshire for a year.
Yeah.
So we got, I think, 2,500 kids playing handball in a year.
Wow.
Set up funding for teams, adult teams, junior tournaments, and then left it. That was job done. Handed it over to kind of the governing body and local teams. Run it yourselves now. We've set you up almost.
I'm ashamed to say I don't think I even know what handball is. Is it like dodgeball or something?
It's probably like one of the most British sports you can have, but nobody does it here. So It's massive in Eastern Europe. It's a cross between, so you can tackle like rugby almost.
Yeah.
Get hands on and take people down almost, but you're throwing a ball into a goal. Into a five-side goal indoors.
Oh, okay.
So, it's physical, but it's good. It's good once you get into it.
So it's like a mix between football and rugby,
but you throw rather than kick.
Oh, okay.
So it's got that aggression element. You can play it indoors.
Yeah.
And all you need is a ball and some sticks to throw between.
Right. Okay.
So it's as big in Europe as football. So
is it really?
Barcelona have a handball team.
Do they?
Yeah, and same as like Real Madrid.
So they use sticks for it?
No, you literally a ball in your hand, throw it in a goal.
Right. You're going to have to show me a video of that.
Yeah. No, it's pretty brutal. There's a Champions League every year.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The Champions League of handball, yeah.
I'm missing out on one of the world's biggest sports. I feel terrible.
So I did that. And been there, done that one. And then finished uni and was like, it's that choice if you go home and then it's, well, what do I do next?
Yeah.
So I called up a couple of guys that were I'd worked with at the Olympics, and it was like, we've got a job for you next week, Formula One, Silverstone.
Ooh.
So
there's someone in the room that will have enjoyed that. I can tell you that for now.
So actually the first part of that though, I was working on like the cleaning side of the cleaner's campsite.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even see a car really. I was doing, and then I went to do logistics on that, and then that kind of then snowballed all that summer. I then went chasing around events and stadiums around the country. One of the worst jobs was picking up confetti out of gravel after concerts in Stratford and stuff. So, and then kind of did a bit more on like the admin side and work on events and stuff. So a lot of stadiums in London, horse racing. Did all that, and then went to Paris for the tennis. So I ran the staffing for the kind of venue team.
For the French Open?
Yeah.
Really?
So I was based in Paris for about 3 months.
Oh, lovely.
Couldn't speak a word of French.
No.
So I had to have a translator with me. And
did you really?
Yeah. So I've done that twice. So 1 year doing a lot of like the staffing. Yeah. Which is challenging with French like labour laws and things like that. So did that 1 year, still with the company, and then did the following year more operational side again on the venue stuff through the night again. Like they always put me on night shift for some reason.
That's fine, mate.
It seems
it takes a certain type of person to do night shift.
At least with night shift, you can do a job once and you never have to redo it because nobody messes it up behind you. I quite like that satisfaction of you do something once and then it's ready, and it kind of you're almost unveiling the place to people in the morning. And it kind of gives you that sense of kind of pride, showing something off almost. Did all that, and then did that for a couple of years in a couple of stadiums in London, then moved on to King's Cross. The development there.
And a challenging site once again from an FM perspective.
Completely. So that was kind of moving over there in 2015, 16.
Because you were there quite a while, weren't you?
Yeah.
What was your role there again?
So I started off there as one of the contractors there. And then I left, went to go do some stadium stuff again, and then came back again under more of the property management side with Savills. So I went back twice, so it couldn't have been that bad. But two completely different roles in the same place.
Yeah, of course.
And kind of King's Cross it's such a challenge with the sheer scale of the place. And because it was going through that point of being a development into a completed space, you had to be presenting this incredible image every day of the week. So whatever you do today's wow needs to be, that's just normal tomorrow.
Of course.
So you just need to build every day. So that was a big challenge. A lot of different types of challenges, lots of moving things, because it's a public space that's open 24/7. You've got lots of offices there. You never stand still. You can't plan for tomorrow because people can walk in that you didn't expect, or VIP visits, or
you get quite a bit of protester activity up there as well, don't you?
Yeah, we did. We had a couple of challenges because you've got occupiers like Google and Meta, so people love to protest against some of those. So it's managing those as much as you can.
Of course,
So it kept it interesting, and then I kind of got to a point last August where I think I needed somewhere to move into that's a bit more structured. Because I've done the chaos, I've done the unpredictability for years and years. I wanted something where you can actually put a stamp on it and then make kind of considerable change over time. So
of course.
I moved to Colliers and at Curzon Street and one of the buildings up the road as well. And Yeah, it's been an interesting first year.
Yeah.
Working with the same guys every day, which I've never had that. It's always been a different.
Oh, really?
So you're working with so many different people. And
Yes.
Your teams are so large.
Yeah.
You don't find out what makes people tick.
And I get that. I understand. Yeah, that makes sense.
So by actually able to build relationships with people and actually find out what motivates them and for them to deliver better and better service every day.
Yeah.
That's now my role, I see.
Have you preferred that? Do you now prefer that, the people element, because you get to know them, because you get to understand what drives them?
Yeah, and I always want to make myself redundant.
Right.
That's my kind of ambition.
Really?
Where I am. Because if I'm not encouraging somebody else, so at the minute I've got an assistant with me she was brand new into the FM world.
Yeah.
When I joined. So both joined at the same time.
Right.
And if I can't give her the skills and communicate what I know about this place over the next couple of years, then I think I failed in my job. I don't want to be sat in the same place in 5 years' time, not done anything different and just happy with my lot. I'd rather be challenging myself and going to different situations and new situations and making improvements there. So if I can make myself redundant and somebody else jumps straight into it and runs with it and puts their stamp on it, brilliant.
So you see yourself as a mentor, really. You see yourself as bringing people forward, putting the right kind of succession plans in place
completely
to make sure that people can step into your shoes effectively.
Yeah, because anything can happen to anybody any day of the week. I'm not trying to be depressing, but something could happen tomorrow. And I'd hope that the building was there before I joined and the building's going to be there after I leave.
Yes.
As long as I can make a difference in that period of time, I've done my job.
Right. Oh, brilliant. Good stuff. All right, so what would you say the key milestones or turning points in your career were that brought you to your current position? Was there anything that happened where you were like, right, I need to zag left or zig right,
So probably the kind of living out of a suitcase.
Yes.
For years couple of years of different stadiums every week, different events around the country.
Yeah.
It got to a point where I just wanted to be a little bit more settled.
A little bit like more of a static role.
Static.
Yeah,
so then I chose King's Cross, which was static, but equally as unpredictable.
Yes. Yeah, I understand that.
And then, doing that bit there. I did have a little bit of a thrive to go back to events and stadiums. So I did Wimbledon and Twickenham in between going back to King's Cross.
Yeah.
So then it was looking at the property side. It was kind of going a bit more in and looking a bit more at the financial side and a bit more management of teams and of contractors.
So is that an element that you feel that you're developing now?
Yeah.
More so?
Yeah, I think it's continual. I think it's trying to, if people do, it's like if somebody used to do some work in your house. I always treat the building or the place as like somebody coming into your own house. It's have I got the best people to do the job?
Exactly. Yeah, true.
And can I trust them to do a good job as well?
Yeah.
I don't mind paying.
Yeah.
But I really want a good product at the end of it.
Yeah, of course,
so to speak, so.
Okay. Brilliant. So I love asking this question. Now, what did you expect when you started in facilities management, and how has it differed now that you've been in it for a period of time?
So I didn't really know what to expect from facilities management.
Right.
It probably goes back to I sold the dream of facilities management. You can sit back and watch the 100-metre final.
Yeah.
Watch whatever's going on in
while you're doing 15-hour days.
Yeah. You can start 9 to 5. It's fine. Switch your phone off at night.
Yeah.
Reality, it's not quite that. But actually, the more time you spend in the FM world, the more you don't want to get out of it.
Right.
Because it's so versatile and it's so ever-changing and you can be part of so many different things.
Yeah.
To have the level of exposure that I've managed to get so far in my kind of career, you could never buy that.
Yeah.
You could never buy a ticket to go into these places, to see these things, to learn about it. So
of course,
I think being part of it, you kind of have to pinch yourself every so often and look back and go, actually, I was part of something great. Even if it was some small change in a building each day. Yeah. To look back and go, actually, we all made that happen.
Yeah. Because considering how young you actually are, you fit an awful lot into that into that short time period, really.
It's good moisturiser.
Yeah, is it? Really?
No.
Yeah. Are you happy to disclose how old you actually are?
Yeah, I'm 31 at the minute.
I know.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, very impressive.
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
This year, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you're 30 now? Or
No, 31.
31.
February, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going to be 32. So, yeah, no, I've kind of crammed quite a lot in.
Yeah. Is facilities the career for you now then, do you think? Is it something that you want to progress with and move on?
Yeah, well, for now, it's the thing that I actually find the most enjoyable.
Right.
I like to have my phone and know what's going on in a building, even on a weekend.
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to call up on a Saturday if somebody's stuck. And I actually quite like the idea of the helping people and encouraging people along the way and getting the best out of them. It goes back to I don't want to be an expert in anything.
Right.
I want to surround myself with
experts.
With experts.
Yeah, they can help you make decisions.
Completely.
Yeah, be a broad church, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. So, what aspects of facilities management? I think you've probably already answered this, but what aspects of facilities management do you find the most fulfilling and exciting?
I think it's when people actually take the time to stop.
Yep.
And give feedback. Everyone's quite good at just walking straight through something on their way to work, rushing. Yeah. Everything is always so fast in London.
That's true. Yeah.
So if you ever get somebody stopping and giving you feedback, that for me is key, because nobody does it out. People only do it for like a positive or a kind of sometimes a negative reason. But if people have actually taken the time to stop and give feedback, I think that's brilliant. That somebody's actually taken the time to do that.
I know, I agree. Yeah.
This doesn't happen too often.
Okay. So what achievements would you, I mean, this is more for people looking to break into facilities management. You know, what achievements would you generally include on your professional CV in relation, would it be projects, sustainability initiatives, for example?
I'm probably not the best person to ask on CV writing.
Oh, really?
I don't really,
Okay.
My CV, I've only done it a couple of times and I've got work kind of through people I've worked with. So rather than naturally applying for jobs, sort of kind of migrated more towards me than me going out there to apply.
Right, okay.
But I think it's very difficult with a CV to get people's personalities across.
I think so. I completely agree,
And I would so much rather work with characters.
Yes.
They'll drive you insane for 10, 20% of your day.
Yeah.
But they'll give you those moments of, wow, we've made a difference here.
Right. Okay.
So I'd rather take a chance on somebody, give people a platform, which CVs are a little bit tricky to kind of get right.
No, I completely agree.
Just put something interesting on there.
Yeah, so it's something interesting.
Something interesting that you think that you'd like to talk about in an interview.
Right, okay.
Just leave it as, I think, a leading sentence of what somebody's done. It doesn't tell you everything. It leaves the interviewer wanting to know more.
Well, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, very, very good. Okay, so obviously you're a rising star within the facilities management industry. He did good when we said that. That's what we say to people. What different roles or responsibilities have you taken on to broaden your skill set that were outside of your core duties, for example?
I pretty much don't say no to anything.
Right.
And if somebody offers an opportunity, take it, run with it.
Okay.
Where I am now, I've had a bit more of involvement because it's a static building to learn a bit more on the engineering side, how kind of plant and equipment operates. Before there was a bit more in King's Cross, it was a lot of security and public space management.
Yeah.
So using kind of the places where you are to kind of glean as much information as possible. Yeah. Sometimes it's good to learn what not to do. Than it is to learn what to do. As long as you don't make the same mistake twice, we'll be all right. But don't be afraid to make a mistake, I don't think.
Okay. Has networking been important in your journey so far?
Not so far, but I can see the value of it now.
Right.
Coming into it. Where I was before, it's been it's very insular.
Right.
Working in kind of King's Cross, you're in your own bubble.
Yeah. And
moving around so much. But now actually building those relationships, actually seeing what else is out there in the world, what other contractors are out there and what other people are out there.
Yeah.
You can learn so much just by listening.
That's true, actually.
So yeah, networking is probably something that I need to do more of.
Right.
I've never really actively done it.
Okay.
So yeah, kind of doing this is probably the most networking I've done so far.
Okay.
Catching up with a couple of drinks.
It's a good way to start, to be fair. This is a very good introduction to Robin Bland. People will probably learn more about you on the podcast than they will in the pub.
Yeah.
I would have thought, which is good. Okay, so, what are you, how do you approach collaboration with other professionals in the industry to foster any growth or learning?
So at the minute, the building I work on is part of an estate portfolio in the West End. There's probably about 100 and something other properties.
Wow.
So some of them differing in size. There's a couple of really large properties, and there's a couple of almost small, like townhouses.
Right. Okay.
So we've got
real variation.
Complete variation of occupiers within those, contractors you work with, everything. It's so different, but we kind of catch up quarterly, and everyone pops into each other's buildings and offices to share that knowledge. So yeah, we're trying to do more of it, promoting kind of a team to work together, and that's kind of dialing into their security teams, asking for their input in what their challenges, their cleaning challenges on one side. And it's kind of to create that network within itself.
Yes.
Of an estate.
Like a one team ethos, effectively.
Completely.
All pulling in the same direction.
Yeah.
With multiple contractors, all trying to achieve the same result.
Yeah, we all share the same kind of brand.
Yeah.
Overarching brand over it. So yeah, trying to keep that consistency.
Yeah.
But every building is different. Every occupier is different, what they want and what they don't want, or what they like and what they don't like. So yeah, work together, but have your moments of difference. I think that works really well.
Okay, brilliant. In terms of your career, what are you aspiring to achieve in the next stage? Do you see yourself stepping, taking that step further into like a director's role in the future? You're only 31, so to be fair, in the next 10 years, based on how fast you're going, you'll be running companies.
I don't know if I'll quite go that far quickly. But yeah, it's been a completely varied last 10 years to get to where I am now. And I've enjoyed the last year of actually making a difference with a team and kind of making long-term changes somewhere, which has been really good to actually do because I've never done that before and learn that skills really. But yeah, I get itchy feet. I can't sit still.
Yeah.
Even sitting down now, I'm probably up and about and normally wandering around the room. But so yeah, I want to constantly make a difference somewhere. When I get to a point where I've probably given as much as I can give, then I'd look to go somewhere else and find a new challenge. Wherever somebody would take me, to be honest. But yeah, I'm not opposed to kind of doing anything going forward. So yeah, let's see what happens. And I've not really said no to anything so far, which has kind of allowed me to get to where I am. But FM world is constantly evolving. So
the old Richard Branson motto: just say yes and then figure out how to do it after.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done all right for himself.
He has done all right for himself. You're not wrong. What about learning and development? Is there any advice that you would give to someone starting their career FM regarding that?
Yeah, I think finding somebody that you actually can talk to is a really good thing to find, or a good person to find, and find that person that challenges you. Right. Not the person that just says, yeah, you're doing a really good job.
Yeah.
There's loads of people that just say yes every time.
Yes.
But actually finding somebody that will kind of give you guidance, challenge you, and kind of push you on. Then, of course, if there's grab every training opportunity out there.
Yeah, of course.
I like to be able to understand how to do every job in a building. I know I'll never get to the point of knowing everything, but if I have a go at doing it, I come from a more informed position the next time I need it to be done. So
very true.
If I need a fan call unit to be serviced, I'll go and stand by the engineer and watch how he does it.
Yeah.
So that next time you don't get confused by jargon.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that will tell you the hard way to do things, but sometimes if you know how to do it yourself, you can add a bit more It's got, yeah.
A bit more gravitas to it.
Yeah, gravitas, what you're saying, yeah.
Okay, brilliant. All right, this is my favourite question. Tell us a little bit about you.
About me?
Yeah, what do you like doing?
So I enjoy working.
Right,
quite a lot. Yeah, so I enjoy being around different people.
Yeah.
And it's funny how what makes people tick is great. And that's, I've always wanted to be surrounded by people that are challenging and making things interesting, and I do really enjoy working.
Yeah. What about outside of work?
Outside of work, I got married last year.
Congratulations!
Thank you. Yeah. I've got twins on the way.
Oh my God! Really?
Due at the end of November, early December this year.
Wow!
So my life might change considerably.
I think it's going to change a little bit.
Yeah. So
I would say. With twins. Do you know what you're having?
2 boys.
Really?
Yeah. So
the twins run in the family?
Twins run in both mine and my wife's side.
Right.
That's what she wanted, and she wanted 2 boys. So
at least you get it out of the way quick, though, Robin. That's the one benefit.
That's what I was thinking.
It's 2 years. Well,
it's twice as expensive, though.
Yeah, that's true, especially right now.
When you've got to buy 2 of everything.
Yeah, nappies and wipes.
It's astronomical.
Yeah,
our house is a little bit like Amazon warehouse at the minute.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
but it's a good challenge to jump into.
Yeah, you've been preparing for that.
Yeah, and kind of. When we're going back to seeing somebody that challenges and kind of gets you working hard. I think my wife's kind of she far exceeds me on what she does. She's way more intelligent, way more driven than I am, and that kind of rubs off. So we challenge each other, I think, in that aspect. But so home life is going to be interesting. So we've been doing up the house over the last 6 year almost.
Yeah.
So that takes up my weekends.
Yeah, well, you've got to get ready for the little ones, haven't you, I suppose?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too bad for the first 3 or 4 months because they're not really moving around. When they start moving around, you've got to make sure there's no nails anywhere.
Then I'll go straight back to work. No.
Yeah, straight back to work. Right, go on.
She's not listening, hopefully. But so there's not really much time for anything else outside of work.
No, I bet. Yeah. Well, listen, all jokes aside, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
And best of luck.
And touch wood.
Yeah, best of luck with the birth of the little ones. And
no, thank you.
Look, that's the end of the podcast.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
How did you find it?
No, it's brilliant. It was great to talk through. Hopefully, I didn't rabbit on too much, and it's not been too boring.
I've actually found it really interesting, to be fair. So, listen, absolute huge thanks to you, Robin, for coming on, talking us through your career, your challenges, and obviously how you've overcome them over the years. And we wish you every success in your future endeavours.
Thank you very much.
No problem at all. And to all the listeners out there, thank you very much. We'll see you on the next episode.